Hello, everybody. Welcome to the webpage for Science 10. My name is Darcy Bloom, and I am the virtual teacher for this course. I want to spend a few minutes just talking about what Science 10 is and how it works, essentially. Science 10 is made of four main units: chemistry, physics, cycling of matter in living systems, which most people call biology, including myself, and energy flow in living systems. I just want to take one more moment and state that Science 10 is very much a base course for your future science courses in grade 11 and 12. Furthermore, many of the courses in science in grade 11 and 12 are based around chemistry, physics, and biology. With that in mind, you can see how Science 10 is obviously a mix of various disciplines. It is the basis. So for example, doing well in chemistry in Science 10 really sets a stage for success in chemistry in grade 11 and 12. Same with physics, same with biology, so on and so forth. So it's really important that we master the concepts as well as we can in Science 10, and this will really ensure that we are good to go in grade 11 and 12. So what does learning look like in this course? Student learning will vary based on the unit they are currently working on. Um, as you move through this course, you will see that there are times I'll ask you to watch a YouTube video in which I'm speaking and doing notes and explaining concepts to you. Sometimes you'll have to read a portion of your textbook. Sometimes you'll carry out online research. After you look at a certain lesson and material, you will have practice worksheets and assignments to complete that will help you practice the content that you've just learned. And then, of course, at the end, just like a regular classroom, you will have assessments towards after you've done a certain amount of learning. I have posted here two example lessons for you to look at. One of these is from the chemistry unit, and one of these is from the physics unit. By all means, you can look at those in your own time. At this point in time, though, I would like to just switch over to a quick peek at what the workspace looks like. This is the environment in which you will be learning. This is the workspace for Unit A, which is chemistry. You will see that all workspaces have three main columns. The first one is goals. In the goals column, this is where you'll see a more in-depth review of how to use this workspace and your learning goals. In the second column, that's your resource column. That is where you will find the learning material. This is where you'll see videos of me talking, of me explaining, of me writing on notes, or where I'll tell you to go and research something or to read something. And then what you will find is you'll have the evidence category. And what happens essentially in this course is there will be lessons in the resources column, and then there will be practice worksheets or assignments in the evidence column. They kind of go hand in hand. I don't want to take too much time talking about that right now because, of course, that would be in this more in-depth video which speaks specifically about the chemistry workspace. Please be aware, though, that throughout the evidence, you will see from time to time, you will see quizzes. You will also see at the very end, you will see a unit examination. And that's going to be a general flow for how the workspaces work throughout Science 10. And by all means, I want to mention one last thing. Your the way that you navigate these workspaces will improve over time. Believe me, I've tried to stick with a common flow, and as time goes on, you will become very accustomed to it and you will fly through these workspaces. I'm going to go back to the website right now. I just want to speak quickly about the assessment. The assessment, I have put forward a general outline as to how this course could be assessed. It will be up to your individual teacher how he or she would like to calculate your mark. If I click on the course outline and just skip over there for one quick moment, I would like to point out how the marks will be calculated. Your final mark, just so you know, it will be put together, or at least it could be, based on this breakdown. Chemistry could be 20% of your final mark. Physics could be 20%. Biology could be 20, and energy flow, the unit D, could be 10%. Final exam would be 30%. All right. Now, again, that's just my recommendation. That's kind of how I've put it together in the past. Uh, One last thing, if I could just focus on one individual unit. In my humble opinion, the way it will kind of work is your final mark for Unit A would be based on your score on your quizzes and on your unit examination. This comes down to formative and summative assessment, which we will talk about in a second. I'm going to go back now to the main web page. I'm right here talking about the breakdown and how we're going to actually mark things. Students need to be aware that not all work will be used in calculation of final marks. This does not mean that work can be omitted or not completed. Student work in Science 10 will be categorized as either formative or summative. So I'm going to click on this page right now, and you can look at this more on your own time. But I do want you to know that not everything in this course will be marked. That does not mean that something can be skipped or omitted. Just because it's not for marks does not mean you can skip it. The point is, some of your work is to help you learn, improve, and practice. There are times when we want you to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. It is only after a significant portion of learning do we really want to assess you. So, for example, let's say you've been working with a new skill and you've gone through practice and corrections and practice and corrections. Only after that period of time would we want to assess you for actual marks to see what you have done. So please, on your own time, take some more time to review formative versus summative assessments. Finally, I will shift back to the website. I do want to talk about the course material. This is a very valuable link that you should have at your disposal at all times. I will click on that and I will shift over. Right here, I have uploaded electronic copies or digital copies of the textbook, the glossary, and the answers to the textbook questions. This will be up to you and your teacher if this is the method that you're going to use. Maybe you're going to use a physical copy. I'm not quite sure. But the whole textbook has been put on here for you so you can have that, including the answers. Next, I'd like to point out that you also have a chemistry data booklet. This is going to be very, very valuable for the very first section, Unit A, which is going to be chemistry. There you go. That should be a quick rundown of the resources, but again, this would be something that I'd want to have. In conclusion, welcome to Science 10. I think it's a great course. I think you'll have great opportunities to do well. Please take your time and enjoy the learning, and best of luck.